What's up, y'all? Drill88 here, and welcome to Samurai Jack Episodic Vlogs, episode number 7. Oh boy, this is a good one. The episode starts with a flashback, apparently, of Jack looking for another portal. He is on this mountain heading up to the top, runs across these little ram goat thingies, and yeah, he's searching for a portal. He laments about how Aku's destroyed so many portals, and he's really worried about the future. He gets to the top, sees a portal. Well, actually, he gets to the top. The goats there's a goat imprint there, like the goats know or own this place or something. I don't know. But they show him to where the portal is. He runs, he jumps in, he is in the portal! And apparently, Aku can just reach into the portal and pick him up and toss him out. Like, that's just not, like, in the realm of unfair, that is totally not fair. But Aku pulls him out, laughs in his face, Jack gets angry, and then Aku destroys the portal, says, hey, that was the last one, ha ha ha. Jack snaps, and snaps hard. He goes after Aku, Aku gets away, summons these demon, goat-looking thingies, and they all come after Jack. Jack kills them, only to find out that they were the little baby tiny goat things that brought him in. And in the process, loses his sword. The sword falls into the hole. And yeah, it's kind of rather emotional, because we see Jack visibly break in this particular scene. It's kind of rough to watch. Up next, we get to it transitions into the future, where or the present rather, or technically, is it still the future? I don't know. But we see Jack and Ashi atop a giant white canary, and Jack's retelling the story of how he lost the sword. So they get to the hole. Hole is freaking deep, by the way. They have to take the bird to fly down there to where the sword had fallen. They get down there, they have some torches, they're looking around, they don't see anything, sword is not there. Jack does see, like, one of the baby goat skulls and has a bad feel moment. And more or less, it's a bust. They make their way back up to the top, and Ashi's like, well, now what? And he's like, I knew that, well, actually, Ashi asked, could someone have walked off with a sword? Could someone have found the sword and taken it? And Jack's like, no, I realized after all this time, I didn't lose the sword left me. And so then they're back on top of the mountain, and Ashi's like, what do we do next? He's like, I don't know how long this is going to take. And Ashi's like, I'll go with you. And he's like, no, this is the thing I was doing on my own. He walks off, sits down, and goes into a meditative pose at the edge of the cliff. So she's like, oh, okay. A little bit of time passes. She's just, like, hanging out. She's on top of the mountain. And she hears something. She goes to the edge, and she sees this massive army on its way towards the mountain. And she looks upset. Anyway, meanwhile, Jack is embracing tranquility and goes into a mindscape thing. Beautiful set pieces once again. I love this art style so much. I would hurt someone to be able to be as good as this. This is just, it's atmospheric, it's good, it's really, it's amazing. So Jack's, in like these rolling hills, then he comes to this raft, and he sails the raft off into the sunset, the rapidly approaching sunset. Then he's like up in the clouds, and then he's on the raft again, and he comes to a hut, and there's this little dude there, and he's like, are you lost? And Jack's like, yes. And he's like, good, come and make tea. And okay, we're making tea now. Cut back to the waking world, and this gigantic army of what I'm guessing are ogres or something of the sort, armed to the teeth, are all making their way up the mountain. She stops them, is like, what are you doing? And they're like, we're going to go to the top of the mountain to kill the samurai. What's it to you? And she's like, no, because I'm going to stop you. They laugh, or the leader laughs. Everybody else starts laughing. And then it's this hilarious moment where you see the guys way in the back. Way in the back. Like, what's he talking about? I don't know, something about a squirrel. I love squirrels! And you never really think about, whenever you have the entire army laughing, you never think of the people all the way in the back row where there's no way they could have heard it. So it's a very nice touch, very nice scene there. Pretty funny. So the fight gets started, and I knew that Ashi was powerful, but dear almighty, I didn't know she was like one-man army levels of powerful. She just starts taking these guys out, like knocking the first one down, using the other one as like a battering ram, and just like runs down the mountain, blowing them off, and it is amazing. It's awesome. She's just like constantly just burning through these guys like they're one hit point minions or something. It is awesome. The fight scene in this is really, really cool. And you just see her like getting closer and closer to like Hulk red levels of rage here. It's this is a beautiful fight scene. Cut back to Meditation Land, and we see Jack meticulously, painfully, slowly preparing tea. Like, I'm guessing this is what is considered traditional Japanese tea ceremony, and he does it, and it is slow and very, very, very meticulous. There's not much else to say. Cut back to Ashi. She's whooping up on the rest of the people. She eventually burns through even more bodies to the point to where they are all just coming around her, and she is just slaughtering them. Like, there's blood all over the place. There's broken limbs. There's stabbed bodies. It's bad. Cut back to Jack as he begins to mix the tea, and then eventually brew the tea, and then he serves the tea. And then we cut back to Ashi. It's a bloody battlefield. She has laid waste to everyone. She like looks behind her and she sees someone making their way up the mountain, and she starts running back afterwards. And she calls for the giant bird. Bird swoops her up, takes her to the top, and an arrow is being shot at Jack, and she stops. She falls. She grabs it, and it is her mom apparently. Yeah, awkward moment here with family and junk. So she is now, her mom's like, I was always disappointed in you. You were always the strongest, but always asked questions, always lost focus. And she's like, no, you were wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Jack has showed me the truth. So they start fighting. Akumam person has like a wicked looking dagger. Ashi grabs a horn from one of the skulls. They go at one another. It's rough. There's the typical banter in between everything, and eventually the like Dark Mother, what's her face, like crumbles this obelisk thing. She falls on top of Ashi, then goes after Jack with her claws, and she jumps in the air about to do it, and then Ashi runs up, grabs an arrow, chucks the arrow, and like right through the spine, coming straight through her, just impales this woman midair, and she just goes tumbling over, falls, and then Ashi just straight up passes out. Back in Meditation Land, little Yoda dude is like, this tea is terrible. All the ingredients are there, but you lack balance. And we see Phantom Jack again, or in this one, I guess he could just be considered Angry Jack after all this point. He's like trying to get Jack to do something. Like, he's extremely frustrated, extremely upset, and Jack's finally like, you know what, no, you've blinded us for too long. Your anger and frustrations only harmed us. And then his eyes start to glow, and he like banishes Anger Jack, And then Homeboy's like, "You are now balanced." And then next thing we know, we see the god characters from way back at the end of the last season, where the ones who took Jack's dad's soul and made a sword out of it. And they're all like, "You have been chosen," and they all like supernatural I-beam him, give him his robe, give him a haircut and a shave at the same time, and bestow upon him once again the sword. And he has the sword. He comes to make sure that Ashi is okay, and just kind of like survey the damage around them. And now things are gonna get really, really good. I loved this episode because I was used to seeing Jack versus the Daughters of Aku, extremely powerful, but you never really was shown just how powerful they were. These girls were made to fight and kill Jack, and Jack was more or less took them all out. So Ashi, by herself, is a one-woman army, and it is amazing in that comparison. And Jack's even more powerful. Just Jack, without his sword, was even more powerful. And, it is just so, so, so good. I cannot wait for the next episode. Hopefully I'll have the next episode out before, another week passes, and, not my usual uploading schedule. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you feel like it. Tell me your favorite moment from this episode, and I may feature you in the next video if anybody ever ends up watching this. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Drill88, signing out.